It intends to set aside authentications of installment accessible on the blockchain. Yet what is HEX? We should find out what we can figure it out and investigate a portion of the HEX cost forecasts that were being made starting around the 10th of October 2022. What is HEX? HEX was sent off in December 2019 by Richard Schuler, also called Richard Hart. Hart is a sequential business visionary, creator, YouTube character, donor and the pioneer behind the Pulse Chain organization, for which he raised more than $27M for clinical examination, as per HEX's true site. The venture is intended to turn into the main declaration of store in the digital money world. In customary banking, a compact disk is an item that yields a return marginally higher than the typical investment account for the client, after the client consents to secure the contributed assets for a proper period. A HEX disk works similarly as in customary banking, since it pays a revisitation of financial backers who choose to secure their HEX possessions for a set period, going from one day to quite a long while. HEX professes to follow a proof of pause convention that doesn't need the investment of diggers. All things considered, financial backers mint new coins for holding HEX during the concurred holding time frame. When the holding time frame reaches a conclusion, the HEX-savvy contract is intended to make new coins to take care of the holder, who then, at that point, turns into an excavator in this specific environment. HEX is a Layer 2 application based on top of the Ethereum organization and fueled by a savvy contract that controls how tokens are printed and dispersed to financial backers. Right now, HEX offers a typical yearly rate yield of 40%, contingent upon the length of the holding time frame. HEX Digital Money Security Review. Is it protected to put resources into HEX? Since its beginning in 2019, HEX News has been brimming with inquiries concerning regardless of whether the undertaking is protected and whether it is a trick. One reason behind those questions were allegations in regards to the HEX organizers' experience. Mr. Hart, whose genuine name is Richard James Schuler, supposedly took part in unlawful exercises back in 2002, including an infringement of U.S. spam regulations. Be that as it may, in December 2019, the HEX Brilliant Agreement went through a security review by CoinFabric. As per its report, no basic security issues were found. CoinFabric uncovered a few minor issues, including replay signature with changed boundaries and unreasonable gas for calculation, which were tended to by the HEX group. The examiner affirmed that the HEX agreements in strength were elegantly composed and appropriately recorded. HEX Principal Examination. There are some gamble elements to consider while assessing the future assumptions for HEX digital money scam debate. HEX tended to claims of being a trick or even a Ponzi plot in a unique trick segment on its site. In any case, the degree of discussion is high, and we propose you lead your own exceptionally exhaustive examination prior to making a HEX crypto cost forecast. Availability. HEX crypto is accessible on around 20 trades. Yet it isn't recorded on any of the world's biggest digital currency trades. It merits thinking about this component, as more modest trades will quite often be more appealing focuses for hacking assaults. The project depends essentially on its believability. Assuming the undertaking loses validity, the cost of HEX can fall. The justification for this is that a huge volume of tokens would need to be given to take care of current compact disk holders. This would expand the symbolic stockpile emphatically, which would bring about a cost drop as the whole among organic market would be very high. Expert Mikhail Karkalov. The HEX undertaking is a legitimate continuation of the improvement of the DeFi area in the crypto market. He said, the craving to dispose of the mediator as the financial framework is advancing. Following the capacity to make cross-line P2P exchanges and to take credits got by digital forms of money, presently we have the likelihood to open stores at exorbitant loan costs without being engaged with Ponzi plans. This is for sure advancement, and I would try and agree that an upset in the financial framework, dissimilar to a bank, which offers somewhat higher loan fees on time stores than standard stores that scarcely cover expansion. DeFi projects like HEX proposition the chance to procure more without being a mediator and benefit producer like a bank, Karkalov added. All in all, that's what Karkalov said, marking as perhaps of the most beneficial interest in the cryptographic money market today, yet additionally featured the need of considering the dangers of hacks, brilliant agreement blunders, and leave tricks. HEX cost history. Presently, how about we immediately cast our eyes over the HEX cost history? While past execution ought to never be taken as a sign of future outcomes, understanding what HEX has done in the past can assist with giving us some specific situation to either decipher a HEX cost expectation or probably make one of our own. At the point when HEX went onto the open market in late 2019, it was worth around $0. It drifted around that level for the following year or somewhere in the vicinity. Yet the market turning bullish in mid-2021 saw the symbolic's worth develop to more than 6 cents toward the beginning of May. While there was something of a slump from that point forward, HEX opposed the market by developing all through the midyear, getting through the 10 cents boundary in July and moving upwards to a high of somewhat more than 48 cents on the 18th of September 2021. From that point forward, another slump was turned around when it hit a record-breaking high of 55 cents on the 16th of November 2021, preceding it eventually tumbled to close the year at 28 cents. Up until this point, 2022 has been an unfortunate year for the by-and-large crypto market. The HEX token, likewise, has shown a striking decay, with the nadir arriving in a low of 2 cents on the 18th of June. From that point forward, there has been some sluggish, ending recuperation, and on the 10th of October 2022 the symbolic cost remained at around 3 cents. Around then, there were 173.41 billion HEX available for use out of an all-out supply of somewhat over 633.5 billion. This gave the token a market cap of around $5.7 billion, making it the 202nd biggest crypto by that measurement. HEX cost forecasts. With that all said and done, we should investigate a portion of the HEX cost forecasts that were being made starting around the 10th of October 2022. It is vital to take note of that cost conjectures, particularly for something as possibly unpredictable as digital money, are in many cases wrong. Likewise, recollect that long-haul crypto value forecasts are in many cases made utilizing a calculation, and that implies they can change whenever. A HEX crypto cost forecast recommended the token could be valued at 2 cents in November 2022, preceding recuperating fairly to 5 cents in October 2023. The site then, at that point, proceeded to make a HEX cost expectation for 2025 that saw it possibly reach 8 cents. Notwithstanding, the downbeat appraisal then returned, with the site proposing the coin might have fallen into blankness by 2027, turning out to be really useless. Indeed, even when the site made a HEX cost expectation for 2040, there was still no indication of a recuperation, implying that it figured HEX could be a dead coin. Then, was more hopeful as far as its HEX coin cost expectation, saying it could shoot up to remain at around 15 cents this prior year, coming to 28 cents in 2023. In 2024, the site said, the token could remain at somewhat more than 45 cents, before perhaps coming to 73 cents in 2025. How far you trust this forecast will rely upon whether you figure HEX can develop by over 400% before the year's over. In the meantime, proposed the token could reach 5 cents in 2023 and 7 cents in 2024. By 2025, the site contended that the crypto could be valued at 12 cents. Prior to proceeding with its ascent throughout the years to perhaps close the 10 years at around 49 cents. The site then made a HEX cost expectation for 2030 that demonstrated the token could hit 72 cents, prior to breaking the $1 boundary and coming to $1.04 the next year. At long last, the HEX cost expectation for 2022 accepted the cost could be 28 cents before the current month's over. The site likewise allowed a 1-year forecast of 37 cents and a 5-year conjecture of $2.27. While considering a HEX symbolic cost expectation, it's vital to remember that digital money markets remain very unpredictable.